crammed. And on top of being about as threatening as a
They're very
teddy
cute
bear,
looking. I'll give them that.
look at their claws.
That was funny.
Anything with its talons is like trying to
That's
stab
how
a
all birds should be
hippopotamus to
treated,
death
except
with
for
a
birds of
fucking
prey.
noodle. Listen to the thing. I don't think you
you gotta go
understand.
fresh.
Speaking of- hey,
just
speaking
how
of
old
favorites.
sharks are. We got
Hey.
See, I'm not just talking
Second favorite shark.
individual sharks. Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff.
Yeah.
Dude, classic.
Aww.
I'm trying to think. What is it? Technically speaking, what sharks are 220 million, which puts them at before trees, if I'm not mistaken. Because what was it? What we view as modern plants, right? Because it's like, I want to say they're either 200 or 320 million, and I think they predate plants, right? God, I don't remember the phylogenetic tree. I want to say that it's either sharks or alligators that are so old that they predate like trees, which is very old.
Your average shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing all that special. I'm talking sharks as a species. Because as a concept, sharks are f***ing one-tricks. They have mained this class through every single balance adjustment Earth has
Imagine
thrown
Manning
at them.
Tracer, couldn't be
From
me.
climate change to the Ice Age to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur. Yeah, when it comes to prehistoric shark species, most people think of the megalodon.
No, they way
That
older than
big
that.
boy the size of a kaiju that was swimming around in the ocean around 26 million years ago. Which might sound like a long time, but as far as sharks go, this thing's a f***ing zoomer.
That was during the
Go back
shallow
around
sea era.
250 million years to the early Triassic, before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion, a shark with a f***ing buzzsaw for a mouth. 250 not far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus, the f***ing pog shark. And if that is still not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Goliotus problematicus, at 410
even older than I thought.
million years old. Sharks have existed for 4 times longer.
Well, this is
than
talking about
Saturn has
specifically
had
sharks. I
rings.
thought you were talking specifically great white.
Oh no, yeah. Well, if you want to be a miser about it, right? Technically, that comes from a tree. 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 And next thing you know, you're at the first cell of life, right? If you want to talk about like kingdom, phylum, yada yada. But yeah, I definitely, because it's like Megalodon is technically Megalodon was like the last branch of its species, which is now extinct. So that branch ended. But if you go far enough back, they do technically share a branch with like Makos, and it's a whole thing.
The first tree only sprouted out of the ground 385
that's what it was.
million years ago. That means that for 25 million years, Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this f***er chased Nemo.
Well, it's funny to think about, too. You think about it, that does not look like a traditional shark, but it is still fairly, like, body structure-wise. It's a pretty shark-ish. And it's funny how after this, right, the one that he showed, like, 350 million years ago or whatever, where it has the weird lips, but it's obviously, like, shark-shaped, then they just didn't change. Like, almost every shark is just shark-shaped. Like, you kind of know the body form of a shark at this point. Like, it's a pelagic hunter. Like, you got something like the wobbegong, right, where it's like a flatfish, right? And it's like, yeah, but those are the lantern shark. Even the lantern shark is, like, shark-ish shaped. Cookie cutter is weird. Yeah, cookie cutter is weird, but it's shark-shaped. Goblin shark is weird, but it's shark-shaped. Like, most of them are shark-shaped, which kind of proves that they were onto something 400 million years ago, and they just, why fix what ain't broke, right?
Well, that's why crabs keep evolving into crabs.
Yeah, everything keeps evolving into crabs because of carcardization or whatever.
Scientists
haven't there been like 8 separate evolutions of crabs?
Yeah, of something going into crabs, yes. And it's stupid. I hate it.
Fish. Looks fucking ridiculous.
What is that?
This is the bumpy snailfish, a freshly discovered species found off the coast of California.
It would be California. That being said, though, that is far from the worst fish we've ever seen. What was it we learned in class? Bony-eared ass fish, I believe, is a real fish that exists. Dorkfish is a real fish that exists. Slippery dick, real fish that exists. So
I've seen those. Yeah,
marine
out in the
yeah.
Bahamas. Yeah.
Yeah, marine biologist. Good sense of humor.
What makes this absolute specimen stick out is that it's a deep sea fish found at a depth of 3 kilometers.
Most
all the
snail,
deep
And
sea fish
yeah, I think
will
most snail
tell
fish
you
are
exactly
that low.
why. Because once God finished building this thing, he took a step back, looked at it,
Regretted
realized
it.
exactly how fucking chopped it was, and punted that thing into the depths of the ocean where no one would ever see it again.
Be free!
However, thanks to the
That was
hubris-
horrible. You know that reminds me. That reminds me of what was that? That one.
Fish release.
Yeah, that reminds me of that one TikTok, right? Down here, what was it like? Down here in Louisiana, we respect our wildlife. Backflip, and he fucking flips the bass.
No, here in North Carolina, we like to respect wildlife. Backflip!
Just the stupidest fucking joke, and lives in my head rent free.
of mankind, it is here before us today to take the piss out of.
Look at the top of his head. So
I mean,
ugly. The more I look at it.
Look at it. It is a profoundly unserious creature. I do not think a single fucking thought has ever spawned behind those eyes.
Damn though.
Not to mention
Bold of you
the
to call
fit
them
on it.
eyes. They
It
probably don't
looks
even work
like an
at 3
aquatic,
miles below.
Uncooked turkey.
No,
with
they're probably
a
just straight up
smiley face
light,
drawn on it.
Yeah,
light
that-
Coming in
sensors.
yeah,
at
that
a
or they're just straight up
solid
vestigial.
3 inches in length. Bumpy
Yeah.
here is not the only species of snailfish. There's others that look like this. However, unlike his cousins, God deemed it so that this poor little f***er would be built like a shaved testicle. The scientific term for a pair of these
Oh my
is a
God.
sack. However, despite the fact that he looks like a
Can you-
sperm cell with a receding hairline, I love him.
Dude, this guy is
He's
painfully
so
Australian.
cute.
I
Look
love
at that
it.
smile.
I love the way he talks about
Reminds me of
things.
Sackboy on the PS3. I know when they got his ass on camera, he looked at it and went,
You know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong place.
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
Ted
not
reference.
gonna do it. But will you take care of me forever and
Hey, you guys joke about Ted. We know a guy who sounds like that. He's from that area.
"This crab is a boxer."
What's your name?
That's right, stepping into the ring at
Dude,
0.15
these guys are
grams
so
a-
crazy. What are they? I think they're just called boxer crabs, right? Or like boxing glove crabs. They're the ones that they steal anemones, like little baby sprouted anemones, and they stick them to their claws to punch things with poison, basically, and to take advantage of like the nematocysts to stun things, and they just eat them. They're so dumb, but they're like this. They're like smaller than pennies, though. They're like tiny as well, not smaller than pennies, but they're tiny as fuck, and it's so funny.
R.I.P. the penny.
Yeah, right, dude. Riff.
And a huge 2.5
Yeah, 2.5
centimeters
centimeters,
in
they're
length.
tiny.
It's the boxer crab.
Yep, there's the anemones.
You see, while most crabs use their pinchers to feed and defend themselves,
What?
the
That
boxer
clip
crab
again?
has
It's
been
horrible.
selected to spec into CQC.
Dude, I got
and,
pinched by those bastards.
throw-
Yeah,
doesn't take-
yeah. I got pinched on not my nips, dude. Like, dude, I've almost lost a finger to the blue crab. Blue crabs get pretty big and they're pretty strong. I am not sticking anything soft near a blue crab. I'll tell you what.
I was fishing off one of my uncle's docks, and one of those bastards, we got one in a trap. Go to try to get it out. We weren't trying to keep. So we were trying to scoot it back into the water,
Do the right thing, you know.
and the bastard, grabbed my hand, grabbed my thumb, and I freaking flung it. And the claw stayed on my hand, and the crab went flying.
Yeah, dude. When they clamp, they do not let go. You need like a good knife to pry them off, and that's why I ain't putting anything valuable between those claws. If you feel what I'm saying, I ain't ever.
I
risking
wasn't
that.
trying to.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
I was also a lot younger.
Hey, those guys,
I was like 14?
yeah, those guys were clearly trying to, and they were a lot older than 14.
And despite their completely average and not at all small size, this
Of course. If
fights
anything, they're
in
too
the
big. 2.5 inches is
heavyweight
crazy.
division, able to punch out
Centimeters. Dude,
hundreds
centimeters.
of times its
Yeah,
size.
even worse.
But how does Nature's Little Mac win the fights? Well, that's pretty simple. He f***ing cheats. You see, those little pom-poms aren't a fashion choice. Those are both
Anemones.
sea anemones.
Oh, he can't say it.
The box crab holds in its claws to use as basically f***ing brass knuckles. Now, they get these anemones by finding other boxer crabs who
Yeah, they
have
just
them,
steal them.
jumping them,
Yeah.
and then claiming them like they are a f***ing WWE title belt. Now, if you weren't aware, anemones are venomous plant-like
Anemones.
animals that, in order not to get eaten, sting the shit out of anything that touches them. Boxer crabs are immune to that sting. But you
Including
bet your ass
clownfish, but
that
clownfish are just
everything
immune to
that
it.
tries to
Yeah.
eat the boxer crab isn't. So, the crab and the anemone enter into a symbiotic relationship, essentially becoming an aquatic venom, with the anemone getting some
That's
of
a
the crab's
great way to
food,
describe it,
and
actually.
the crab gaining venomous brass knuckles.
Can't just like
whenever a predator
have
gets
extra
in the ring
protrusions,
with crab
though. I mean, a
Tyson
little
here,
different.
He'll
Yeah.
wait for it to get just within striking range, and then Mr. Squidward, I should take your
Yes! No, dude. I have seen some papers back in the day that suggested that sometimes the crabs are smart enough that if they lose one anemone, they'll like try to split the one they have in half because the anemones will regrow. I don't know if that's the crabs being smart and that because that would technically count as like one of like 4 animals that know how to use tools, you know, which is like I don't think that counts. I think they just do it. I don't think they know what they're doing, that they're using tools. I don't think they understand the concept of like mitosis, of like, oh yes, the cellular division of the anemone. I think they just do it, and even then it's probably not that common. But that is crazy though, that there's these crabs and they're like, listen, I'm very tiny and very small, so I'm just gonna use biological warfare. I'm gonna steal this anemone from this other guy, take his shit, and then use it.
This bird is a serial killer.
Jesus f***ing Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the Shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under. Now, at first
course
glance,
it's
you
Australia.
may be thinking to yourself, how could
Well,
this
Island of
sweet
Criminals,
little
right?
guy be a vicious killer? I mean, he's so tiny.
technically, that's how it
They only
started.
grow up to around 30 centimeters and cap their weight out at 90 grams. And on top of being about as threatening as a
They're very
teddy
cute
bear,
looking. I'll give them that.
look at their claws.
It was funny.
Anything with its talons is like trying to
That's
stab
how
a
all birds should be
hippopotamus to
treated,
death
except
with
for
a
birds of
fucking
prey.
noodle. Listen to the thing. It sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch geek. You'd never heard a fly. But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me the f***ing creeps, you know that, Dexter?
And Stokes.
You may have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are, because Shrikes actually have another name. They're called fucking butcher birds.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's right. The Dexter jokes actually had a fucking point. You see, when the Bay Harbor butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the night.
Now, unlike Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the they want. Insects, mice, me, even lizard. And once they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop.
Dude, he's got me in suspense.
head
Now,
for a while.
while those
Yeah.
claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on their victim, they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between
me
their
it's got
vertebrae and severing their fucking spinal cord.
That's
Oh.
But
horrible.
converting their prey into a vegetable isn't enough.
freaking
no,
awesome.
No, no, no.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have
What?
paralyzed their prey and
What
shattered
the
its
hell's going
spine,
on?
they will fly its corpse
Dude.
back to their larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence. And once they get home, they
I respect these
fucking
birds.
impale them.
That's crazy.
They will then leave
I
that
mean-
corpse there for days, occasionally biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the fucking fridge. Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs.
That's fucking wild, dude.
That's insane. That's insane.
So cool, dude. Dude, imagine, dude. They straight up walk up to somebody and then they turn him into a paraplegic, and they're like, "Yeah, anyway." And then they hit him with the Genghis Khan special, the Vlad the Impaler. They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna hang out here real quick," and just fucking stab him.
Vlad the Impaler.
Dude, the Vlad the Impaler. Dude, that's crazy. That's so. Why is it so cute looking? It's so, the dichotomy is so crazy. That's so fun, dude. Why, dude? I love animals like that. They're so wild. It's like I never would have known that bird existed. It don't exist here. I'll tell you what. But I would want 10. If
it could only exist in one place.
Oh, we know. Yeah,
let's be honest.
I mean, that's how it survived this long. It wouldn't have made it if it didn't have the spinal cord severer 9000 beak attachment.
A lot of people are scared of snakes, but have you ever wondered what snakes
I actually
are
like
scared
snakes.
of? The answer
Looks at camera.
is this fucking bird. Introducing
Oh,
the
Secretariat.
bird, native to the continent
Oh,
of
Secretariat.
Africa,
That's a
and
horse.
prime
Secretariat.
example that being
Yeah,
a hater
Secretary
pays
bird, yeah.
off. Coming in at 1.3 meters
Don't they
tall
just
and
kick, right? That's their whole
4.27
shtick? They
kilos
kick
in
with
weight,
snakes?
This lanky
Pretty
turkey
much, yeah.
has been purpose-built, nay, expertly fucking engineered by the gods themselves with the sole purpose of violating the ever-loving out of any garden hose that so much as looks at it the wrong
Dude,
way.
I gotta watch myself around these guys.
You see, these bad boys are birds of prey, but unlike their cousins in the same
that's an
category,
awful movie.
they are primarily terrestrial,
Never
which means
watched
they
it.
spend
Good.
most of their
Keep it
time
that way.
on the ground. This is because their preference
No, I don't want
diet
it. Don't tell me how to live
is,
my life.
sentient slithering sausages.
tried to save you.
However, with this thing being endemic
so
to
young,
Africa,
redemption.
Hey, well, look at that. Not Australia this time. It's just other, bigger Australia. Also, Satan's Savannah. That's a great way to say it. It's a great way to call it.
their preferred meal also just happens to include some of the deadliest predators on the fucking planet.
joke
Does
again.
this stop the secretary bird? No, mate. Despite having no natural venom resistance, these absolute fucking gigachads will eat cobras, boomslangs, and black mambas without breaking a sweat. But how do they hunt these things without getting bitten? Simple. They just kick the out of them.
Yeah, and I believe they
See,
have
those
pretty much no like vascular like the vascular tissue and stuff on their legs is so minimal that's why they can do this without worry about the venom. And
Yeah,
stuff.
because there'd be functionally no method of transfer, right? With no vascular system. You're like, oh, you bit me. Oh, no. I get, like, no
Yeah.
blood flow. That's like biting plate
I
armor,
think
basically.
It's like so minimal, yeah.
Long-ass legs aren't just for show, as a secretary bird is capable of accurately curb stomping a snake's head into the ground with a force equal to 5 times their
That's a
fucking
picture.
body
Oh my
weight.
god.
So when a secretary bird fancies a bite to eat, they start out by stomping the ground around dense
Dude,
vegetation.
as we do.
This causes snakes in the area to poke their heads out of their houses to see what the is going on. The snake
Understandable.
then looks up in horror as the secretary bird locks onto him, sprints over at Mach 9, and then... A lot of people are...
That's hilarious. Dude, dude, what is it with nature, dude? The coolest, prettiest shit is apparently the most psychotic. Like, that's so cool, though. But, like, that's evolution, right? It's like, yeah, it doesn't evolve the best thing. It just evolves the thing that is, like, the thing that works the quickest, the thing that works the
It's
easiest, right?
adapted.
It's adapted. How did evolution was like, dude, you know what the easiest thing is? Just kick the shit out of it, right? Just don't worry about flying or any of that bird nonsense. You're just gonna kick it so hard it just dies.
Some of the most venomous species on the
Some
planet.
of the most dangerous reptiles on the planet. Don't worry about that. Just kick them. It's literally the MMA equivalent of like, what do I do, coach? I don't know how to strike. Oh, don't worry about that. Just kick them. Just kick them until their fucking shins break, and then they have to tap out. They have to quit. It's like, shit, if it works, I guess.
This bird is a vampire. Introducing the vampire groundfinch, native to the
That's a
Galapagos
pretty
Islands,
apt
and
name.
a great example
Galapagos
of the
Island, shocker.
horrifying affronts to the universe that
Tortoises
evolution
are there,
can produce
last time I checked.
when it decides to do a little trolling. Now, you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a
Those just look like a regular
measly
finch.
12 centimeters and a mere 20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern
Average.
I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle.
The skin of a killer.
So if it's missing fangs, angst, a
Twilight
cape,
reference
and the funny
in
accent,
2025.
Must bounce on it.
how does it qualify as a vampire? Simple.
Probably drinks blood.
Drinks a shitload of blood.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands, and smaller.
Wow. Wow, there's an island named Darwin in the Galapagos. Who would have thought?
Can't imagine how that happened.
Yeah, right? Must have been a pretty famous guy. You know, he needed that island named
But
after
maybe
him.
studied some birds or something.
Yeah, right? He needed that, he needed that island named after him because nothing else is named after him, right? Nothing is named after Charles
Definitely
Darwin.
not any species
Not
or
any
anything
species
like
or any museums, research facilities, Darwinian evolutionary theory, literally everything you've ever learned about biology. He really needed that island. I mean, he's so undervalued in the scientific community. And he also definitely wasn't notoriously a jerk in all the journals of all the people on that boat. Definitely. He was a great guy. And he beat Ash Ketchum in a rap battle that one time.
Islands means
forgot
a
about
far
that.
smaller
Shout out
amount
ERB.
of that food to go around. To the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source. Which for a bird usually isn't a problem. Because,
Usually.
they don't need a plane ticket to just f off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't fly for shit. So, how do they get their food? They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh,
He's a booby.
It's a
is
booby.
the Nazca booby.
Yeah.
Hey, stop giggling back there. Another species of bird.
More of a blue-footed booby person myself. I think they're cooler looking, but whatever.
I don't know. He also got those the tits.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
those
right.
are.
Yeah, those are native to England. We're in the Galapagos.
I was gonna say, aren't those England?
Yes, they are. You mean the great tits? Yes, are from England. The birds aren't that bad either.
Native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play. You see, when the boobies... Stop giggling. Come
Children.
To roost,
You're all
the
children.
vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers.
Wow.
Once the blood
Wow.
is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby.
Okay, now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it, buddy. Now I see you're pushing it. I'm a man. I'm an adult man. I don't laugh at jokes like that.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, right. No, that is fucking metal, dude. I would. You know what? We started this being scared of spiders. I'm scared of birds now. Dude, these guys are dangerous. Dude, they're gonna kick my teeth in, suck my blood. Dude, they're gonna kick my teeth in, suck my blood, turn me into a vegetable, and hang me from a piece of barbed wire. Like I think I'm about to get jumped by a bird gang.
I'm respecting some birds now.
Dude, I should have been an ornithologist. Screw the ocean.
This spider hunts with
We start with
jump
spiders,
scares.
we end with spiders.
But how? Introducing the Trapdoor spider, a family of arachnid containing
I've heard of
hundreds
these.
of species
Horrifying.
found in every continent on the globe. Meaning, yes, for once, this bad boy could be in your backyard and you'd never know. Now, trapdoor spiders
They plug
are
the hole with their
particularly
butts or
interesting
something.
compared to other spiders due to their hunting method. You see, normal spiders tend to spend several hours spinning up some elaborate
Yeah, so you could
art
walk into
piece
it at
for a
5
fly to
a.m..
clothesline itself on.
Or in the middle of the night.
tarantulas just jump. But trapdoor spiders, yeah, they hunt with a door. Very early on in life, trapdoor spiders dig themselves a hole. This silk-lined burrow will then serve as its home for basically its entire 20-year lifespan. Hell, they basically never leave the thing, like some neckbeard living in his mum's basement. But
me to
they've
it.
still gotta eat, and since DoorDash does not deliver to spiders, this burrow doubles as their method for catching food.
Totally not a
You see,
trap.
they use their silk to craft the trapdoor over the burrow entrance. Then, using their fantastic arts and craft skills, they just bolt a bunch of random shit to their front door so it blends in perfectly with the floor. After finishing
That's
their
crazy.
construction
That's
project, they will
horrifying.
spin up a bunch of basically invisible strands of web on the floor in the surrounding area that act as tripwires, feeding information back to their neckbeard nest whenever something steps on it. And when some
So I'm assuming, yeah,
unfortunate
when it
insects
creates
step
a vibration or something, that's all that it's in tune with.
Well, it's got to be right, because if the entire thing is silk, it had the same way that a regular web works, right? It detects the vibrations. So the second you get within 6 inches of that hole, it probably knows, and then it waits, and then it straight up just yoinks you. It probably just grabs you and pulls you into the hole, which, wow, would be awful. Imagine if they were like people sized. Imagine you're just walking like on a hiking trail, and then a fucking door opens up.
Just walking
and
to
just
work one day, it's
grabs
like,
a guy, and I'd be like, oh, and you just turn your ass around, and you're like, didn't need nature
a
anyway.
little too close.
Money, money, money.
That's horrifying. That's horrifying.
Pretty freaking awesome, though.
That's dude, damn nature. You scary. No, dude.
Oh, nature is terrifying,
Dude.
but I love it.
I love this guy.
As long as we stop freaking killing
Yeah,
it.
dude, I love this guy. I love nature. I like his funny voice. And dude, I don't know if he's his own editor, but if he edits these, he's fucking hilarious, dude. These edits are so snappy and so funny, dude. These little like quick cut edits, like he does all this super fun shit in like a minute. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
dude.
I've never seen this guy before. Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad I got recommended him, and I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna see how many of you guys I can drag in to watch more of his shit, because this is funny. He's got a huge backlog, like he's been making these for a minute, and all this science stuff that these aren't. This should have been something that we were sharing around the dorm. We're like, dude, check this guy out. Like, I feel like that's what the community that would love these, and somehow we just dodged it, and I'm glad I found it, at least at this point, because now I'm gonna binge all of these if possible.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Definitely gonna have to revisit these at some point in the future, though. Until next time.